Good morning to you. I am Mark Sudduth, and here's what's up in the tropics for Tuesday, the 16th of August, 2022. In the Atlantic Basin, we do have this area in the southwest Caribbean Sea. I mentioned it yesterday, and it looks like now the National Hurricane Center starting to monitor this. No chance of development over the next 2 days, but as we expand it out to the next 120 hours, there is some chance, around a 20% chance right now, that this goes on to develop somewhere in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico, maybe heading up towards northeast Mexico, possibly extreme South Texas. We'll have to wait and see. There is some ensemble support for this system, and it is in a climatologically favored area, so we will wait and see what happens with that. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, TD10E became Yvette. Now it's back to a tropical depression, and it is weakening. It'll fade away, and there are no other areas forecast to develop in the Eastern Pacific anytime soon. And like I've been mentioning, I think that'll be a key here as we go forward. Once the Eastern Pacific calms down, the Atlantic Basin should start to perk up. And I think we're going to see that here as that system develops in the southwest Caribbean towards eventually the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Satellite animation this morning. Look, there's the remnants of 98L there still spinning over parts of West Texas. Again, a nice beneficial rainmaker for that region, so that was good to see. There's this system that we're watching in the western and southwestern Caribbean. Not much associated with it just yet, but there is some energy down there. A tropical wave, that is the seedling. And as that energy spreads across Central America and eventually into the southern Gulf, we'll see what happens with that over the next several days. The deep tropics still dominated by pretty stable, dry, warm, mid-level air. Just not a lot of upward motion out that way. But things should be changing over the next week to 10 days or so. We're seeing that in a lot of the guidance and the different ensemble forecasts, as well as the upward motion charts. I looked at that yesterday in the hurricane outlook and discussion, and I see no reason to change my thought process right now, that as we close out the month of August and get into September and beyond, the deep tropics should become quite a bit more busy. All right, the vorticity signature, not much down there in the Western Caribbean right now, but that'll be the area that we watch. Elsewhere across the Atlantic, lots of greens. Everything is still pretty much spread out, all that energy out there, nothing consolidating right now. This is interesting here, just a huge area of vorticity off the east coast of the United States that might try to develop into a non-tropical coastal storm out in the Atlantic, maybe bringing some rain and some windy conditions up to portions of the Gulf of Maine and the ocean waters there off of Cape Cod, southwest of Nova Scotia. Just thought I'd mention that. Something you typically see more in the wintertime, but there it is here in late August. All right, this tweet here from Andy Hazelton. This is important. That tropical wave right there over West Africa, a day or two away from moving into the Atlantic. Some model support for that. It's getting to be that time of year where if these develop, they could track across the Atlantic and become something interesting to watch. If they don't develop, then I think it's definitely a symptom that something is amiss in the Atlantic, and it might not change, or it may take later to change. We'll just have to wait and see. Kind of one of these make or break situations, so we'll be watching this closely. There is some ensemble support, and even in the operational models here, you can see this. We'll start in the eastern Atlantic. There it is. It comes off the coast. This is the 6C GFS. Pretty good moisture associated with it. Not a lot of Saharan air to the north of it as it rolls off, as you can see there. And it does develop a surface low of about 1010 millibars. So we shall see. And look over there in the northwest Atlantic. There's that system I was talking about. It tries to pinwheel up. Non-tropical. It's over fairly warm water, but it's a non-tropical system. It's deriving most of its energy from atmospheric processes instead of pulling it up from the warm ocean water. So it's not a true warm core focused tropical system. And then there's the moisture plume associated with what we will be monitoring out of the Western Caribbean as it moves its way eventually into the southwest Gulf of Mexico. Plenty of time to monitor and see how things evolve, and we will do just that. All right, that is it for me for today. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll do the What's Up segment and then a full hurricane outlook and discussion tomorrow afternoon. Again, I'm Mark Sudduth. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with more for you tomorrow.